The Article 15s are back. You already see the title. Let's get into it. Well, welcome back to all subscribers, both new and old. You already know the deal. It's your man Ronin, better known as Ronin Agent 317 on PlayStation. And today, the Article 15s were brought back because of a myriad of reasons. In the past 96 hours, what I've seen was outright outlandish and outright disgusting behavior. I send my condolences to the family of the recently deceased. And while I didn't agree with this individual personally, this will lead into the topic as many of the vultures are making a sport to pick the bones off the individual in question. So getting to the conversation what led to this, seeing this display of wild behavior, I decided to sit back and really take in what I was looking at. And sadly, I wasn't surprised. But with all that aside, let's get into the conversation about internet salad tossing. Now, number one is an adjective, and for YouTube purposes, because I don't really get into that. Consult the interesting definition via Urban Dictionary. I'll say that you'll be intrigued if you didn't know. Now, what I've seen out here is a parade of sycophants, individuals who are guilty of internet idolatry, individuals who proclaimed the individual former known as KS as Jesus or some manner of deity to individuals. Now, I found this highly disturbing because this isn't a good look for us as men. And when it comes down to it, this outright display of the chicken heads who were celebrating the passing of this man was outright disgusting. But from what I've seen from the many brothers, some I respect, others I'm cool with, I found outright disturbing for our own reasons. Now, the thing is, in life, you're going to run into individuals who are sycophants. It's a noun. A person who tries to gain attention by flattering wealthy or influential men, i.e. yes man or women, or things, depending on this day and age. So here's what we're looking at as sycophantic behavior. Example, bootlicking, fawning, toadish, servile, submissive or fawning in attitude or behavior. Now, there are individuals I know who love to do masculine cosplay. Or some people are outright sanctimonious. It's an adjective. Making a hypocritical show of religious devotion, piety, religiousness, etc. Or, in my terms, hippo-Christians. Individuals who weaponize scripture to justify their sanctimonious intent, actions, and conversations. Now, this is a conversation I'll get into when I'm good and ready. I've seen this on and offline. But in pairing this into the conversation, in the passing of KS, I've seen individuals who fit this description show their unholy ass. Now, what I don't like is individuals getting out their body, getting out of themselves, or afraid to be themselves. Do such things. Growing up, I was taught to be a senseless giver. After a while, being treated as a toady or something less than disposable, I started becoming a selfish giver. And many of us can attribute to this because of what we see often. This is where you start using handcuffing people with hospitality. Anytime you do something, you hold an invoice, you hold a receipt. And shout out to Lovely T, who originated these terms, but hey, that's another conversation. But when you have individuals who get out here and hold you hostage with hospitality, the only thing you want them to give you is distance. But then in this stage right now, I'm transitioning into a sensible giver. This started from the valley of an old chapter where I had to shrug off codependency, where I had to shrug off a lot of things, being kicked in the dirt. And the beautiful thing about a verse is you find out not just who you are, but who's all around you when it comes down to it. So since this is a solution-oriented channel and everyone wants edutainment, this is what we're going to start working on as far as like 3 things I suggest we start doing. Absolutely nobody respects a passionate suck butt. Now, this is being vet talk, or to say to my fellow veterans, when you're in the service, earn your bones. You go through the training, be in the Marine Corps, 12 weeks of hell, or whatever time respective to earn your time into the fleet. You take in the information. You do what you're supposed to do with the best of your ability. But you're going to see a little sergeant suck butt in your service. An individual's going above and beyond, trying to gain favors, kiss ass, do all the things that you see like, wait, that's too much. That's a little extra. Being that I quit my job at FedEx last year, there's an individual I had placed under my charge to train. And he was bitchy. He always liked to complain. He would just be lazy as hell. Didn't want to do anything. He was capable, just chose not to. So he decided to take the easy route, being a passionate suck butt. This is the one that went and bought supervisors, pizzas, went above and beyond for them. And eventually he got to be a supervisor. But the thing is, they put him in the position because they needed that field. Not that he qualified, because they knew what to do with him. And every shitbird detail they gave it to him. He had people under his charge make him look good, and which was insult to injury. They sent me down there to help out with him. And because myself and other peers who helped make him look good, he got beside himself. So when we made our exit from not just the area, but the job itself, now people got a chance to see the real him. And the consequences were not favorable for him. This is what I'm telling my fellow veterans and those in the civilian world. When you're at your job, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to see a lot of these sycophants out here, these sanctimonious, self-righteous motherfuckers who want to perform like they are about the right. Some, like when the managers are coming away, notice they'll do the extra, like, oh, such and such is coming. Now they want to straighten up. Now they want to act like they're right. They add insult to injury when they try to act like y'all cool when you really ain't. This is no different than what you see online. This is the problem with revisionist history. Out of respect, I'm not going to go into what I've seen out of the deceased. However, what you're seeing nowadays, these passionate suck butts will suck the life out of not just you, but your reputation. So you need to be mindful who you surround yourself by, because when you're one of these bone carriers or water carriers from the K-Hive, if they're still around, or whatever clique you choose to associate yourself with, you got to be mindful. Absolutely nobody, especially the one ass that you're salad tossing or licking, does not respect you. You're disposable. Even gas station condoms or Dollar Tree condoms get more respect than you do. And I'll say this before I move on to the next thing. There are some people I know, or some of us respectfully do know, who have many stories about people being outside their character, trying to gain favor because this person is of influence or has financial wealth. The definition of high value is more internal than external. See, in many cases, when you're a passionate suck butt, what you reveal to the world is you're a platonic prostitute. When people have the resources that you aspire to have, as long as they leave the money on the dresser, you will twerk, you will work, you will embarrass yourself to the very people that you admire at first, their position, but you'll never respect them as the individual. Some people are not worthy of respect, but they know they do what they can do because you're willing to grovel, kiss ass, lick butt to be next to them. And from Wall Street to Martin Luther King Street, you'll have individuals who have their ways of doing it. Some will let you assume the Captain Morgan pose while they toss your salad. And you notice these individuals who the tossees will have their pinky out, holding their knee or their thigh with their pinky out. The other far more aggressive ones, they'll throw the legs back. They'll push that person's legs back and let it be known, I want you to see me eating your ass. When it comes down to it, they're getting a chuckle. Someone will have you on their smartphone watching this, and you'll be proud because, again, wow, I'm tossing the salad of such and such. Which leads to number 2. It's paramount to create a solid blueprint and how to establish a healthy relationship with you. You have to make it cool to be around you. I've always said you're the architect of yourself. The landscape, everything, the details, the plumbing, everything. How you maintain that stuff or otherwise is how people are going to treat you. You got to put time in, not just the right materials, but you have to set things in its proper place. Where does your dignity play into this? How do you remain respected other than your tenacity and durability? And being a social suck butt. Just because you have many decorated shitbirds does not make it any different. There's some people who have probably earned a position by other means. But just as masculinity is respect in yours and on you. Some people respect your rank, but they figure you're just a sun-baked piece of feces. It's about how you carry yourself. It's how you move. It's about showing who you are, not just in that uniform, but outside that uniform, when nobody's looking. How do you treat yourself as far as do you eat to live? And not just food, but the information that you're being given. When people of influence say certain things, you got to be mindful of where they're coming from and how it applies to your life, which leads to the number 1. Properly vet your respective sources of influence and information. See, in many places, and this space is no different, you have people who are content creators who can enrich you with the information they give you to make you a better person, put you in a better position. And then there's others who are conflict creators. These are the people who promote social junk food. These are the people who promote cancerous narratives and circular dialogue. They'll have you feeling good about yourself, throwing your money away to their bullshit while you're doing wind sprints on life's hamster wheel, going fast yet going nowhere. This is why it is not healthy for a man to sit there and try to get his woman to submit to him, when really she sees that you're another man's bottom bitch. Now, it goes back to the blueprint. How do you treat yourself? Do you promote disrespect being shown to you, or you have consequences that come with that in the presentation of it? How are you moving? Can you hold your own nuts? Some things you got to do by yourself. Some things you have to do will not be popular. And me personally, I'm not a fan of lemming leadership. It's good I have people that are positive influences to me and negative. I show appreciation to the ones that show me that they don't like me. They don't respect me. Good. I need to know where the basement is. But to a sycophant, to a lot of these sanctimonious pieces of shit out here, they don't have a type. All they're doing is seeking a position by getting themselves into position. All you have to ask those individuals, do they want jelly or syrup? So in closing, what I'm saying to you guys, internet or social salad tossing is not the business of a man who's about the right, about handling their business. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm light years from perfect. I'm an asshole with principles. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to improve on it. But I'm not going to make any apologies for who I am. I've learned to become intolerant or have a adverse reaction to bullshit in its many forms. But again, some people like the taste. And for those sycophants who love to do that, at least pour a little cinnamon on or some flavor to it. But do understand, you still look like an idiot eating a log of shit on a plate. Doesn't even matter if you pray over the water. It's still a loaf of shit. So, as always, hold your own nuts. Respect yourself. Appreciate yourself, but don't worship yourself. Learn to vet those who mean something to you. Take the information, disseminate it to your life properly. If it doesn't fit, set it aside or throw it away. This is where our discernment is key. This is the difference between making a man who's sculpting himself versus another man who is burying himself in a whole heap of shit and eating it just to survive. As always, never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. Salute to my fellow veterans. Get out there, train, kick ass, take names. Be safe out there. Semper Fi.